Hey, this is Tara from GoGlobal, and I'm excited to talk with you today and give you 3 takeaways from the many conversations that we're having at GoGlobal. If you don't know me, I am co-founder of GoGlobal, where we work with early stage tech startups and investors, stakeholders in the global ecosystem to help fund, grow, and scale and expand tech startups to different regions around the world. So if you don't know me, I was born and raised in Silicon Valley. I studied psychology because I was very interested in human behavior, what motivates us, how we can get ourselves to do things, change, transform, make ourselves better, live better lives. I pivoted. I went and I studied information technology in graduate school, and I helped design and build a large-scale Oracle data warehouse. So I understand data, data structures, database design, building large-scale technology products. And then I took another pivot when I moved to Turkey about 20 years ago. So it's from this perspective that I sit, having grown up in Silicon Valley, but sitting in Turkey where I can look to the Middle East, to Asia, to Europe, and also compare that with the boots on the ground I have back in the United States. So I decided to start this series because I realized in all the conversations that we have at GoGlobal, I was learning many things from many different people and also making lots of connections, seeing patterns. I think that comes from my experience in data analysis and database design, that I was seeing patterns in the data, I was seeing patterns in the conversation, and it was really giving me a lot of valuable insight, and I wanted to share that insight with you. So today I am giving you 3 takeaways in the conversations that I've been having. The first takeaway that I want to share with you is about women and investing. So although women have a lot of wealth in their hands, they don't necessarily leverage that wealth, or they don't necessarily invest that wealth, and studies have shown this. So I am a board member at an organization called ARIA Women's Investment Platform, and this is one of the missions and one of the purposes of ARIA is to create more women investors. And so we do education, we have an investment committee, we invest in women-led startups, which we bring to the investment committee. So there is an effort there in that platform. But one of the conversations I was having with an ARIA member was that for women to invest and for women to become comfortable investing, they need community and a safe environment. And this was certainly true when I think I mentioned this in my update yesterday, when I had just graduated from university and I started working kind of in my first corporate job. There were a number of women who started an investment club, and I think there were 10 to 15 of us, and I did talk about this yesterday when I said invest in what you know. So what we would do is we would share the research responsibilities, we would bring, and these were publicly traded stocks, to the investment club, and we would vote, and together we would pool our money and invest into different publicly traded stocks. So it was that environment where women, I think, tend to thrive in community, getting consensus, that having this community and safe environment gives women more power as investors. So I'm not saying it's the only way, I'm not saying it is the one way, but I am sharing with you something that came out of one of the conversations that I had yesterday and kind of connecting the dots in my own experience. And if that's helpful to you, then that is something for you to take away too. So the second takeaway is that, as I said, from our perspective from Turkey, we are having a lot of conversations with entrepreneurs and investors in different regions, different countries. And I had a client a number of years ago, Elmira Bayrasli, and she wrote a book about global entrepreneurship. And I have an interview with her, so I'm going to link that somewhere on this page so you can see the interview I did with her. But she wrote a book called Extraordinary Entrepreneurs in Unlikely Places. So she was looking at how entrepreneurship was springing up around the world. It wasn't just located in Silicon Valley. And I can certainly see that that's true. I'm looking at my notes here. That's why I'm looking down. And I can certainly see that that's true. And so I kind of have this concept in my head. I don't think I came up with it, but Silicon Valley is a mindset, especially with COVID, as COVID has changed the way we work and live and do business. We can see many people leaving California, private citizens, businesses, corporations leaving California, leaving Silicon Valley, because now this mindset is transferable. You can take it to different states, you can take it to different countries. And if you check out Elmira's book, you can see some case studies and some examples that she gives for this. This was a number of years ago. So if Silicon Valley is a mindset and you can take it with you, how will you bring that to your own region, your own startup, your own investment fund? So this is some food for thought for you. And that's a segue into the next takeaway is I have a friend back in Silicon Valley. She's a Stanford professor and she started 2 angel funds. And she said, Tara, I have traveled to many countries around the world, and this was probably 5 or 6 years ago we had this conversation, and she said, and what I continue to try to convince in the places where I go is to build the local ecosystem, to build the regional or national ecosystem, and that is to have support for entrepreneurs from idea stage, early stage, and as they grow, to have different supports in the ecosystem. So you need incubators, you need accelerators, you need government funds, you need private funds, private investors, venture capital, angel investing, so that there is this infusion of capital and energy and resources into a startup to grow within their local ecosystem. And she said sometimes we'll get entrepreneurs and they'll come to Silicon Valley and they're looking for funding, and Silicon Valley might not be the right place for them to be. They may need to go to Detroit, they may need to go to Nashville, they may need to go to Miami or Washington, D.C. There may be another ecosystem that they need to go to. And she said, for me, I need to know where to send people. I need to know where is the best place for them to go. And I need to have enough investors in my network that I can kind of help them grow their business through the ecosystem this way. So this is something that is very exciting for us at GoGlobal, because we can see, depending on the startup, where's the best place for them to get funded, where's the best place for them to get customers, where's the best place and the best strategy for them to expand. So for you to think about, where are you in the ecosystem, who is around you, who are the partners that you can connect with, and how can you, with the resources you have, whether it's network, whether it's funding, whether it's training, help these tech companies that are building the technology of the future to grow, to scale, and expand. And so these are my top 3 takeaways for you today. I hope they were helpful to you. If they were helpful, excuse me, and you like this video, please like it or give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody you think can find it helpful. And I would love to hear from you. What is happening in entrepreneurship where you are? If you're an investor, what are you seeing? What kind of technologies are the people building where you are? Where are the best supports? What does the investment structure look like? Where are the gaps? What's missing? If people need to grow and scale, what kind of resources do they most need in the region that you're at? So I'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. If there's any questions you have for me, anything you want me to talk about, you can leave me a comment. And I will work that into my takeaways. But it's a pleasure to be with you. It's a pleasure to share my perspective with you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when I bring you the next set of takeaways. Take care.